Welcome on, people. It's Mr. back again with the review show, and I think I'm fed up with keep on coming on this bloody review show and saying we won again, and this time we are cemented our place for the playoffs, and I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie. If I don't I was nervous wreck, but we cemented it now, and now we are chasing that top two. People in the comments, how you feel about yesterday's game? Comment below, and we'll get in your questions. Last one, before we get to the panel, tomorrow is the day. The Kevin Campbell event is coming. If you haven't said, if you want to go, if you're in Nottingham, please go and get your tickets. It's going to be a fantastic event as well. So please, link below, get your tickets. Right, let's get the panel. Let me start with the guy, the Glenn. How you doing, Glenn?
Very well, very well. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, just about got my voice back from yesterday.
I told you what, I was nervous, and Glenn was just telling me to just chill next to me because he was a little bit nervous, but I'm not as nervous as I was. But he's all right now. Next one, we got the Des Oldham, and before we get Des, right, in my vlog, people, there's 82 people here. The deal is, if Des Oldham gets to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the whole game, he's got to go to the whole game in a full kit. So the 84 people, go on Do Daily and please subscribe to his channel because he's going to wear the full kit, as you know. Isn't it, Des?
Apparently so.
Is it a whole kit?
Pardon?
No, Forest kit.
Forest, it should be whole. That would be.
No.
So, the bizarre thing about this is I went out for a 5K run and I came back and I had 30 new subscribers. I thought it was 15, and then before I knew it, it was another 15. So thank you, Darren McManus, Monkey Bandit, Gunner OT.
So people, go and subscribe to Do Daily. Let's get to 5. By the end of the stream, I want Des by 500 subscribers. End of the stream. If you can, please do. Last but not least, we got Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm jolly as hell. We've cemented playoffs. I'm jolly. Like as you can see, Matt's made he's changed his name to Matt. Just can't get enough, and it's just we'll talk about the season, man. But it's just amazing how Forest have cemented the playoffs, and like I said, I'll talk to the panel about the game and as well Forest ways of stuff, and as well people like I said, subscribe to the channel as well and hit the like button as well, people, to make my channel grow. And as well, have you seen my vlog, people? Comment below how you feel about my vlog as well. Right, let me start with Glenn. You know what? Let me start with the lineup because, like I said, when the team news came out, there was one change. I felt bad for Figueiredo. Figueiredo was fantastic, but I understand it. I get it because when Figueiredo played against Fulham at City Ground, I think he wasn't great and he did get bullied by Mitrovic. But do you think it was a right choice for keeper to bring Cook in?
Obviously, in hindsight, yes. Cook was immense. Him and McKenna were just keeping him very quiet, weren't they? I think there was actually something else with Figs. I think he turned his ankle early in the Peterborough game as well. So he did have a little bit of an injury, I believe. That was also a contributory factor. I don't know whether that's been blown up a bit more than perhaps it actually is. And perhaps that was the media's, or Cooper's pre-match decision as to an excuse for dropping him. I don't think he's done much wrong, and I don't think he should have perhaps not played. But you're absolutely right. The difference between how Cook and McKenna between them kept Mitrovic quiet. Obviously, in hindsight, you can say that was the right decision. I hope Figs is not too badly injured, but I think that's ultimately the another factor as well that they took into consideration when they made that decision.
Let's talk about the game, and like another fantastic win for Forest, Glenn. And like I said, what a performance! And it was a good performance. Like I said, it was nervous times, but I think Forest controlled the game, didn't they?
They did. It was very, very similar actually to defensively to the last time I saw Forest play at Craven Cottage, the 2-1 win when Graben scored the brace. The second half, if you like, the last 15, 20 minutes, they had the vast majority of the ball. I think they played 96, 97 minutes that day as well. very close towards the end. They didn't seem to be coming back into it equally yesterday. The first half, as you may have seen on the vlog I was talking to Dore, they couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. They couldn't get anything on target. And anything in the second half they got on target. How good was Samba? Absolutely immense. So in that respect, very, very controlled. Back three were incredible. We'll talk no doubt about the game plan and how far forward Colback was in the first half, particularly down that left-hand side and Surridge. But the back three, incredible. Samba had a great game. First time I've seen him for a long time, not rushing anything out either, just taking his time. So yeah, controlled through the well, not perhaps less so in the first half in midfield. Perhaps we suffered a little bit, and I know that Cooper's said something about changing the midfield to box the midfield because of their wing backs or their fullbacks. But midfield, I think the second half we had a lot more control than we did in the first half. But all the way through 97 minutes, Yates was incredible. Garner was quiet. Don't know if he did that much, but certainly the back three and Colback, incredible. Samba's arguably man of the match for me as well. But no doubt we'll talk about who the man of the match was. Worrell had a great game, but Samba was awesome.
Ted, right, we're talking about, like I said, when we lost 4-0 at their ground, and Mitrovic, he actually hammered us at the City ground. But the difference, Steve Cooper's come in, and what a change that is. Because like I said, as Glenn mentioned, the back three, and especially Samba as well, they kept him quiet. He had a little more there in the first half, but McKenna, he's just doing his job. And what else do you want him to do? Like, he just kept him quiet, didn't they?
I'm glad you mentioned that. The 4-0, and of course I've said a lot. I've said since that game we're getting to the playoffs. But I'm glad you mentioned it in relation to Cooper coming in and doing what he does. Because I tell you, when Cooper picked Cook yesterday, it just made me think. You know, we're always talking about how brave these players are, how much they put into games, they put the body on the line. But I tell you what, how brave is the manager? Because he doesn't shirk a decision. You know, the whole thing with Samba, you know, he is the better keeper in my opinion. He didn't do what the club wanted him to do, what Cooper wants him to do, made him sit and suffer. But at a point, he realises he's got to come back. He's got to do that. And I think yesterday he did exactly the same with Cook. He probably wants Cook back in for that Bournemouth game, you know, and to add a little bit of something to that. And he's not scared to make a big decision. Horvath had played himself into form. Figueiredo has been playing out of his skin, been playing really well. But at the end of the day, it's the team that comes first. And it just made me realise how brave Cooper can be as well in all of this. We know that to some degree, but I thought it was worth mentioning. You know, he can make these big decisions at big times.
Kieran, Matt,
you got to do three of them, don't you?
Matt, shows you top, Matt.
It's the Superman Cooper. Yeah. No, I came out of the Peterborough game and walked around the corner. There's this little kid, and he went like this. It really freaked me out. And then he realised it's because I had Cooper on my chest. So yeah, it was. I was nearly bullied by a little kid at the weekend. So yeah. If you wear a Cooper shirt, you've got to remember you're wearing it.
People as well. Matt, if you want a top, the link is below. Go and get a top for Matt because we'll talk about later what Matt's doing as well.
Don't start another. Turning it advertorial again.
Yeah. Matt, like I said, Glenn mentioned about Jack Colback and Spence, and again, Jack Colback, and another good performance, man, and he's getting better and better in it. Like, and he's making like. Let me mention that we all back in the day, and everyone will mention, we always struggled with a left back. We never had a recognised left back. Yes, we brought Lowe in, and he's done a good job. But Colback is making that position himself into.
Yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? Really, I don't know about getting better. He's getting more and more knackered, I think. So you know, he's a bit old for it, and he should. I still think he should be in midfield. Like last night, I think. We suffered with Fulham when he went off. If you remember, we were 1-0 down. It was a 50-50 game, and he went off. And I remember particularly because the person sitting in front of me had been giving him jip all night. And, you know, that wouldn't go down well with me. And then when Garner came on in his place, and they shipped all the goals, it was like, oh, look at that sort of thing. So, yeah, I think we miss him in midfield, but he's doing a great job at left back, and he's going to have to do it, isn't he, to the end of the season? And you know, he's good at it, but he's better in midfield. And you know, he's just going to have to suck it up and come back next season and reclaim his spot, isn't he?
I think
was it fatigue or was he injured?
So what was that? When he went off.
He went off. Was he injured or?
I think he was sort of injured or something, or booked, and they were worried about it, and they took him off. I think he was injured, if I remember correctly.
Yesterday, Garner had to play a real subdued role within the team in midfield. I watched it back today, and him and Yates don't move out of their positions. I think Colback would have been straight in midfield in that type of game, in that position. Garner, he didn't have a particularly bad game, but he didn't have a particularly good game. He was in the nicest possible way. He was stifled a little bit because he had a job to do. But that would have been Colback's job, and he would have possibly done it that little bit better. And that's where we can't. This kind of
horses for courses, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's no disrespect to the players because they have different skill sets, don't they? But yeah, I mean, I think we can suffer a bit with the midfield when we need to stiffen it up a bit. But you know, the thing is, I was saying earlier, the effort that's put in throughout the team, the subs, is incredible now. You couldn't pick fault with any single one of them, could you? For their attitude, their approach, their application, their dedication to the plan and whatever. They are all good soldiers, you know, and they're doing a job, whatever it is. You know, and whether they're the best player on the night or not, it doesn't really matter. They're doing Cooper's work, and they're doing it fantastically at the moment.
Before I get to Glenn, I'm going to look through the comments. Even chat, what a night! I still buzzing. I saw Jimmy after the game. Shout out to Jimmy. This is a good one. Vlog's fantastic, but that dude, Fulham fan. Right, listen to me, right, you Fulham fan. You know who you are, and me, Des, know who you are. You absolutely just remember, Des, what he said to us. This is before I said his prediction. This is what he's quoted. Fulham are better than Forest, like bigger. Then he said after the street, he said after all, it was out of context. Out of context, he said. And I said to him, no, you can't say that. You know, blah, blah, blah. So no, you can't. I wish I showed the message. He showed me the message. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put him in the bus. But yeah, bigger club, my back foot is there. Sorry, I had to. It was funny when it does, but the way he said it.
Well, the thing is, they were cocksure, wasn't there? They were cocksure that they were going to win it. We spoke to two guys doing some of the things we do, and they were both coming out, oh, it's going to be 2-3-0 to Fulham tonight. We want you to go up instead of Bournemouth, but it's going to be 2-3-0 tonight. And I thought, different team. And you look over the season, since Cooper's come in, would be above them. So the confidence is a bit unwarranted, but you can kind of understand it from them, can't you? The top of the league, what he said about they were young lads. Remember that, Dore? They much of Forest. So hopefully in the next 23 years we can prove that we are the biggest.
Guys, I don't care just if they're young or old or whatever. When you say they're bigger Forest club, I'm shooting them down. I don't care how old they are. But he did say it was out of context, but it was still funny at the time. I'm just going to look through comments. Somebody was immense last night. Some fans, some amazing reflex saves as well. This is from Andrew. I can't recall any previous Forest side having that kind of momentum. It's incredible. It is incredible. It's so incredible. And we've got some guy called David Johnson. Oh, here we go. Even chat. Unbelievable performance, so nerve-wracking, emotional, and when the final whistle went, another amazing winning day it was. Shout out to John. I heard your missus she lost 3 stone. That's what she said after the away win. But yeah, shout out to David Johnson for that.
And Brennan played fantastically well, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's also, you know, it is like I said,
especially the first half. I thought really, really good.
Especially the first half. Let's talk about the first goal. And I want to shout out to Steve Cooper because if no one seen it, he threw the ball so quick. And,
it's brilliant.
He's so quick, and it was a good goal.
Definitely a second assist, definitely.
And you've got to praise Zingernow because he's been given so much flack, and I'm giving him some flack as well. But the pressure they gave to it was Ream, the centre back, and the goalkeeper. It was good, wasn't it, Glenn?
Yeah, I've just the work rate. Actually, since the Birmingham game, I spent a lot of time because of the criticism for Zingernow. Looking at him during the course of the game, the meters he covers, absolutely incredible. Tracking back, significant number of the last 14. We've scored 14 goals since we conceded against Blackpool in open play, obviously without the Luton game, and significant number of those turnovers have been involving Zingernow in some way, shape, or form. Now, some decisions yesterday, perhaps Jono was open a bit more on the right hand side, and he squared it left. Perhaps not so great. A lot, he spent then another 2 or 3 minutes breathing out his arse and trying to get himself back into the game again. But the game plan from the very outset was very clear. Ryan Yates was talking on the post-match about getting into them. They got very little to play for compared to us, putting them under pressure, and it was clear we did that. Zingernow, great ball from Surridge into no man's land, really, and it's unideal just to tap out into it for a corner, isn't it? The fact that they tried to play football there, he got in the way. How it managed to, it could have gone up, pinged off any one of those six boots and pair of gloves. It just happened to fall really well for him, didn't it? And a scrappy goal, but we'll take it. And then, the rest is history. The next, 80 odd minutes, just trying to keep the lead, helped by them not being able to score or hit certainly for that middle sort of 45 minutes, not really threatening it at all. But yeah, exactly what we needed. Scoring early. I was cautiously optimistic, as I said before, that we would get something out of the game, but we needed to score first to do so, and we did. And it was that 15 minutes. Just wasn't too early, was it? It was just a critical time in the game, and a great goal. I'm glad he got it as well, because he's had a little bit of flack recently, and his work is absolutely incredible. So yeah, all the better hopefully for the season. About
Zing, so I watched it back today in full, and I really made a point of watching him and trying to, because we'll come on to man of the match. I was really looking to see what it is. The guy, when he puts so much work in, he's such hard working, but the one thing that just lets him down is that final ball. Glenn touched on it a little bit. Yeah. There was a couple of times I looked at the Brennan one where he went down the line and played it in for Surridge. It was a nice, smooth first-time ball.
And that's what it's good at, isn't it? That's what it's good at.
He just holds on to it just that second too long, and it just allows...
touch too much.
It's confidence, isn't it? It's confidence.
Yeah. I think
he knows he can play better than he's been playing, and he hasn't overachieved. He's underachieved, but he's a good player. And I see we're talking about trying to keep him permanently, but I think the team plays better with him in it. But he does suffer from that little bit of anxiety when it comes to the final ball or those decisions. I think I've said on here, I think he could be very pivotal in the last few games. And to me, that goal was the most beautiful goal of the season, really, when it comes down to it. I don't care. It's the most beautiful goal of the season. And, he'll score plenty of goals, but he won't score many more important ones, will he? Let's hope. That's the Ian Bowyer goal.
I think, though, for as much as we question it, and I'm not having a go at him, I'm really not, because I like him. I think he's a great for me, he's a street footballer. I've said that a lot, somebody who grabs the game. But I think for as much as we are a little bit undecided about it, so is the manager. That's why in the Luton game he possibly wasn't playing. And I think Cooper just demands such a high standard, which is a good trait to have as a manager, and there's people ready to come in. I think if he could just iron that out a little bit, just a bit smoother, a bit more one-touch football when the other guys are doing it. Because, once we start moving forward, yesterday I couldn't believe how quick we were turning from defense into attack. We're not the slowest side anyway, but it was like a set plan. And you touched on the fact when Cooper threw that ball back, he was almost involved in it. It was just keeping the game going all the time. And I think it was to get at Fulham, because they're quite confident at the back. They play from the back, and they're the best team in the league. They're the best team at doing it. So it was to get right amongst them centre backs. And I think just that little delay here and there, just just cost us another good few chances. But he had a really, really good game.
It's the mindset, though, isn't it? It's a positive mindset. And you get your manager chucking the ball in as quick as he can. It speaks volumes. I mean, how different was it at the beginning of the season where we didn't want to play any football? We want to play football. We can beat you at football. We will play our football as much as we can. And we'll try, we won't spend our whole time worrying about you, trying to stop you, not thinking even how we play. We play our way as much as we can. And it's beautiful to watch. And actually, another little thing, the way they play the game, it's like Brian Clough's standards. There's a little bit of bitching, but you need to have a little bit of bitching, but we play it hard and fair on the whole. Occasionally people sit down, occasionally Samba rolls the ball around the box or whatever, but they play beautiful football, and it's a credit to the club.
There's 139 people in. Thank you everyone for turning up to watch our mug faces talk about the Nottingham Forest. Oh yeah, and the 139 people, please do subscribe to Do Daily, please, because the bet was if Des gets to 500 subscribers, he's got to go to wear a full kit haul away. So please go on Do Daily. The 145 people, go and subscribe to him now before the stream ends. Des, you're not getting away with it, Des. I had to suffer. Now you've got to suffer.
I haven't subscribed yet, so I'm going to be the silver bullet if there is one. I'll just wait for the take him out.
You haven't subscribed yet, Matt?
No, I want to get pleasure out of it. I don't actually subscribe, but I want to get some kind of.
Are you waiting for $4.99 or something, Matt?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the silver bullet. I want to take him down. I want the credit.
Didn't you also say, Dor, that you'd do a similar thing if you got 7K?
No, other than
I did say, right. But I don't know what to do. That's the thing. We'll talk about it every show.
If I get 500 by the whole game
Comments.
and get 7K, we've got to do it together. Different strips.
Holding hands the whole game or something like that. Handcuffs together.
Right. So people comments. Right. So, right. Let the viewers talk about it. If I get to 7K, should I dress as a full kit? People in the comments, what do you think? If I get to 7K, I'll do it. Second time. Oh, what am I doing this for? Right.
We can come up with something better than that, I'm sure.
No, every time I refresh my screen, and I'm doing it every 2 seconds. I've got 3 people.
Right, so people, like I said, if you're on the YouTube channel, please do hit the subscribe button for me and hit the like as well. There's, like I said, 136 people in. Make sure that you do subscribe and subscribe to Do Daily as well. We'll touch on the midfield, and I think I spoke to Glenn. The Fulham midfield, like they had, was it Siri? They had who was the other one? The ginger guy, the ginger dude.
Harrison, was it?
Yeah, Harrison. The first off, I said,
Tolbert.
Yeah. We mentioned, like I said, Garner. He wasn't doing the Garner what he does, but we did well in the first half, like contenting that midfield, but we wasn't in their face as much, was we, Glenn?
No, we weren't actually, and as effective as the midfield was, a lot of the ball were coming in from the outsides, and it was just a one-man band, wasn't it? Everything was going on to number 9's head. So regardless of who had the ball, there was the odd shot. They were also more effective than us. I've got to be honest, I don't really know the Fulham midfield that well. Perhaps Des, having watched it again today, might have a little bit more to say about it. But it was clear that there was a game plan for Fulham, that they're going to get a point, that their number 9 was going to get a record, and they were going to score their 100th goal. And I don't know whether they had the "I'm going to do it" and everybody's going to pass the ball, cross the ball, whatever. So it was.
You're gonna though, if he scored 40 odd goals, I'd just chuck it up to him. We dealt with him really well though, didn't we? We played the man. We didn't worry about the ball. We weren't ball watching. We were watching him all the time, and he didn't like it, did he? It's funny. I was saying how this guy used to be Mr. Angry. When he arrived every week, he was kicking people up the backside because he couldn't handle it. It's the most angry I've seen him for a while. He's been all smiles all season, hasn't he? But he wasn't smiling last night.
No, I think we were talking last night, weren't we, actually, amongst the group that we were with, that it was very clear that this is perhaps the sign of what he might be next season as well, and what he was last season. Just at certain points, not as particularly effective as you would want from a Premier League striker. and the frustrations were coming out. I think there was a who had the head injury? Was it Ryan Yates?
Yeah,
Ryan Yates
had
had one of their attacks, and he came back and was kicking off. So a little bit of that Mr. Angry came out in that sort of 60, 70th minute, whatever it was. But yeah, very, very, very little from him. And like I said, most of the midfield were just putting the balls through to him or putting the ball across for a right. So usually coming from the right hand side, wasn't it? First half, they knew exactly where he was going to stand in, but wherever he was, there was a McKenna or a Cook or both, just nullifying the risk. Yeah, phenomenal defensively.
Well, what I noticed about him is he is a good footballer. Let's not.
Yeah, he's not.
Like that. But what Forest let him do was drop deep. They let him drop into the pockets. The midfield picked him up. Yates got around him, and then he did drop deep and he changes and interlinks with players. You can see why he scores goals. But like you touched on there, Ben, I said to you yesterday, he had 8 chances and didn't score yesterday. If he's getting 8 chances every game in the Championship, there's going to be games where he scores 2, 3, 4 goals. In the Premier League, he's not going to get those 8 chances.
Nope.
If he's not sticking a good majority of those away, that's why ultimately he didn't play very much in the Premiership. But he is a good player. I just felt once he got to the edge of our box, we nailed him basically. The defenders we've got did a real good job. He was involved in a lot of their good sort of link play, that particularly in the second half. But it just didn't. We dealt with him as good as we had to keep him out.
Yeah,
well, it's like we were
challenge
saying
as well. Phenomenal, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
incredible.
Because I felt Figs was hard done by as well, really. Because
I know, I understood it. I'm sorry.
No, I understood. Yeah, but it's hard to drop someone playing that well, isn't it? It's hard to drop any of them, really, and that's why he tends to stick with the same team. But let's be honest, like we were saying, how we play our game. I think Mitrovic is obviously an incredibly good player at this level, and we did change our game for him, didn't we? We factored him in. He was talked about, and we did a great job on him. So it's another tick for Cooper, really.
100%. I was looking through the comments, and let me clarify this. I see quite a lot of comments saying if I get 7K and win a Derby top. Let me clarify this. I will never wear a Derby top. So let me get that in your head. I will never in a million years wear a Derby top. And you, Gary Marriott, there's no chance. Don't even bother Gary Marriott as well. Where's this other one? Cuter. Dore has to wear a Forest kit. Dore has to wear a non-uniform if he gets it. I'm not wearing no chance. People in the comments, what do you think? What should Des wear? If he doesn't wear a Forest top, you can wear something else.
That challenge is set, Dore.
Yours is set. Okay, so people go on subscribe to Do Daily, and there's one people. If you've got any questions to ask for the panel, put a comment below, and we'll give them away as well. And I say if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the button. Right, let me ask you, Matt, and you come on the Canadian, Mr. Lerea. He come on yesterday, and I was impressed with him. And I know, like I said, Fulham, they were attacking. And I was surprised. Like when Colbert went off, I thought, Leao, it's coming on. It's going to be tough. They kept pressuring us, but going forward, it wasn't too bad, was it?
Well, we nearly got. I could see us getting a second goal. That was the script, really, and he made that nice run and stuck in a decent cross. So, apparently it was in the playbook. He was sort of down. Let's give Richie a little run towards the end, which seems a really bold, reckless thing against Fulham when you're winning for 10 minutes to go. Let's give him this go now.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'll be honest, right? When when Colbert got injured, I thought, Luea.
I thought he was play acting. I thought,
I thought myself, Luea, it's his second game. He's not playing much football, but he proved me wrong. And again, like I said,
he's a good player. Look, come on, he's playing in the World Cup and stuff like that. He can play football. He's not a bad player, but I think he's more of an attacker. But Jed Spence is an attacker rather than a defender, really, isn't he? But it's going to be a bit of a culture shock. I'm sure he'll become a good player for us in the future, no doubt, hopefully. And I thought he did well. And it was another tick for Cooper. He stuck him in there. We've all been saying, Laraya's going to have to play at some point. What's going to happen, sort of thing. And he puts him in the deep end. And he did all right. He chucked him straight in the deep end. So, you know, he knows what he's doing. You know, and it all worked. The only shame was we didn't quite get that second goal, which was in the script as far as I was concerned.
You know what? I might want to mention that to Des. I said that ball from Brennan and when I can't pronounce Sturridge. Sturridge. I can't. Everyone has got me, but I can't say it properly. But I don't care. Actually, Sam. Sam. Do you think he should have scored that goal? It was, like I said, it was a good ball from Brennan, wasn't it, Des?
Yeah, it was good, and lots of times he would have stuck it away, wouldn't he? You know, he's proved he's a finisher. It just didn't happen in that moment, did it? It was a really good ball, because when we saw it live, you realise what sort of space Johnson had to work within. You know, and the ball was so accurate, and I touched on it right at the start when I was on about Zinks, just to find him. You know, and I guess some of the miss might have been the fact, was he expecting it? Of course he was, but if you see what I mean, the gap was that small to get that ball through, and the game was moving at such a pace. You know, when we got that ball and Brennan's down the line, Loretta's down the line, you know, it was absolutely lightning. So I'd bank him to score that most times, you know, but I did feel he could have possibly opened his body up like he did against Huddersfield. I think I said it to Glenn last night. Yeah, if he'd have done that, maybe, but you know, that's what happens, isn't it? You've
got to give the keeper credit, haven't you? Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you actually look at it, there's not that much of the goal to aim at when he's on top of you. If the goalie's been good and committed himself, it's not easy, is it? And it got his back elbow, didn't it? So it virtually got past him. Another day it would have gone through him, sort of thing. It's just, you know, that's the life of a striker. But
you win some, you lose some.
He's been incredible. Yeah, he can't keep scoring every single sniff he gets, can he? But he's done really great so far.
So was it a handball then? Was it a penalty?
No.
For which one?
No. You're on about the where was it?
The one where Brennan cut in. Was it? Or was it? I think where
it wasn't Cafu cutting back. It was Brennan's shot, wasn't it?
It wasn't handball.
Yeah, I think it wasn't.
No, it was definitely. I saw it back today. It definitely wasn't. I saw it when I come back in. Yeah, this morning. It definitely wasn't handball.
And that offside one they went crazy about, where their player was miles offside, and then it hits Joe in the midriff and goes out there screaming for penalties and stuff like that. It's like,
Matt, at the game, we all thought he'd given a penalty.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
what we thought as well.
And it was like the goal. It was kind of like, is it a goal? Isn't it a goal? It was all a bit sort of wacky races for a minute. But...
No, because from our angle, Matt, we thought it was a penalty, and we thought. What? I was like, and then we thought it was offside, and then
it was miles offside. It was like in another county, so it was like it was, you know.
Okay. And there's 161 people. Make sure everyone's subscribed to Do Daily as well. Get them to 500, please, before the stream finishes as well, people. And as well, people get in the comments. Who was your man match yesterday? Des, what you're on now, Des?
375.
Right, people, get him to 500 before the stream. There's 164 people in. Get him to please subscribe. If you don't, what's wrong with you? As well, subscribe to me as well, and hit the like button as well. We mentioned substitutions. I said Cafu, Larea, and who else was it? Lolly come on, and Lolly again. I think since he's had that injury, Glenn, he's getting better and better. It's like that form that he had with was it under Lemucho? I think was it Lemucho you played?
Karanka.
Yeah.
Karanka. Yeah.
Glenn, do you think that form's coming back?
It is. It's coming back a little slower perhaps than some Forest fans would want. He seemed to be playing on the left a lot more than he was playing when in his prime. He was cutting in from the right-hand side, wasn't he? And playing lots of balls in and scoring up a lot more on that left-hand side. His fitness is getting better. He's obviously may or may not still have, it's a shin injury, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
So he may or may not have it. They probably are continuing to rehab him and develop it, but it doesn't seem to be impacting him the same. Just delighted to see him playing again and getting towards his best. Just needs to score or at least get involved a little bit more offensively, doesn't he? Because that sort of success breeds success. That sort of, scoring gets you in the habit of scoring and you get better at it. He just needs to get a bit more than that. But his involvement in the team, I think we were saying about Larea, he's a next man up right now. He's not on the starting 11. And for him to get back in, he would need to get a little bit more success in front of goal, I think. But as a player, Lolly, loads of time for him. He's my daughter's favourite player. She got Lolly's shirt. And
he's my favourite player, Glenn.
What?
He's my favourite player.
Seeing him play or getting back towards his best, just one of the highlights for me for the season, because I really did think at the end of last season, and particularly the season before, the sight of him almost in tears sat on the centre circle after Stoke went off. I thought that might actually be a pivotal moment for him. But the fact he came back, he's rehabbing and he's getting himself back towards. I agree, Dor. I don't think he's anywhere near his Karanka, what was that, 2018, 2019 form.
Yeah.
But a little bit more success in front of goal will help towards that, I think.
I was just going to say, Glenn, you know what happens with Lolly? He cracks in a 30-yarder and it kind of he clicks into gear, doesn't he? You like London Buses. When he gets one goal, he gets 2 or 3. I just feel somewhere this season he's got a massive part to play.
Yeah, I've been feeling the same thing. Yeah.
A 1-0 and, like I say, a 30-yarder or 25-yarder or something where he beats a man, and I just feel there's something left in it for him. He's just come back in, and football's got an habit, hasn't it? These players are out in the cold, and then at the pivotal times, top players come back, and then all of a sudden the career sort of snowballs again from there. So I just feel there's something, and I'm hoping as much as I feel.
Yeah.
Well, and the other one, Sam Surridge, you know where he's from, don't you? Remember where he came from? Bournemouth.
We'll talk about later on. That's the thing we're going to talk about.
So him scoring the winning goal at Bournemouth, that's poetry, isn't it?
Matt, we've got Fulham next. Don't listen to me. I was saying to Glenn yesterday.
Don't play him again.
Talking about Bournemouth is hurting my chest because I know the draw yesterday. If we win every single game, you know what? People know what's going to happen, but
not necessarily. But you still have
Matt,
to
stop talking about
enough goals.
Matt, stop talking about Bournemouth because you hurt my chest like yesterday.
Can I go back to talking about Lolly? Des, he did actually have a significant part in the Bristol City revival, didn't he? Because it was his shot low to the right that actually Lyle ended up putting in. So that's what I'm hoping. He's gonna have a delayed reaction from a keeper, and it'll nick in bottom right hand corner, and we'll get 3 points.
I'm talking more of a 30-yard volley.
30-yard volley, okay. That would have been a cracking goal in itself,
maybe, if we don't do it.
Right.
Right. I was speaking to quite a lot of Forest fans, and we had Keith Straff as referee yesterday, and I don't get Forest fans. They don't understand. I don't understand. Right. Before we played Fulham, everyone's saying, "Oh, got Keith Straff, blah blah blah." But if no one saw the record, we had him 4 times. We won 4 times, and we've collected 4 clean sheets. Forest fans were saying it's Keith Straff this, Keith Straff that. But you need to look at what he's done for Forest. He's not done nothing bad to us. And let me ask you, Des. And yesterday, I didn't see it wasn't that bad for us. If people disagree, Matt disagrees. Matt disagreeing.
He gave them everything he could. To me, he protected them so much. They were fanning around, and we weren't allowed to tackle. Every tackle was a foul to me.
But
was
it that bad?
It wasn't that bad.
I think he's shit. It's a simple It doesn't matter if Forest have won. He can't change some decisions.
We just beat 13, didn't we?
That would be blatant cheating. But he's the worst ref in the Championship.
Yes, but he hasn't done nothing to us for 4 games. How can we moan about it if he's not done nothing to us? If he's done something to us, fair enough. But he's not done nothing.
Come and watch the game with me tomorrow. And
I'm not sitting next to you. Des, I'm not sitting next to you, Des, because you moan about referees.
You're wearing a full kit. Yeah.
No, Des.
He gave them everything. He gave them shitty free kicks, and it
It changes the whole momentum of the game when they do that.
Yeah.
And people don't. And the other thing that kills me is when, like, Brennan particularly and Spence get fouled relentlessly in the first half and they don't give them any cards. And if they did, it's a different game. When they let them foul them 3 times, that's it. The first half's over and you've got away with those tactics. So you should get, if you do a professional foul, like what's it called? West Brom. Yeah, it was a different story, wasn't it? Yeah. And that we will be winning games like that. You should get the credit when you get through and someone jumps on your back and gives you a piggyback. They should get a card.
I just don't see that logic on it.
He wasn't that terrible. He wasn't
that terrible.
He was on their side.
No, it was just before the game. Before the game, Forest fans were still saying, I understand he's a rubbish referee, but for the last 4 games he wasn't that bad. And
but you worry about rubbish referees, don't you? Because that's something you can't control. You can't beat the referee.
It is what it is. It is what it is. If he makes a bad decision,
but that's out of your control. If
they give the
goal backhand ball and stuff like this, or if they disallow the goal.
Do you know what, Dor? When you watch the game back, it didn't look as bad as it looked in the ground. And again, I'm not trying to say, we was at the game, blah blah blah. It doesn't look as bad on the television as some of the ones we saw. Why were the Forest fans singing? Keithside is a Bournemouth fan. Constantly.
Because we've got nothing else to talk about, that's why.
Don't get me wrong, the big decision in the game was the goal, which he got wrong in our favour. You know, we've had that in the last couple of weeks. We had it in the West Brom game. We've had referees. They're all crap. You know, the standard of
That's my point! That's my point! All season, all the referees we had have been useless. Because we've got Keith Strauss this, Keith Strauss that. Why we've had all shit. Who's the referee we had at Luton, Des? The one you kept slagging off. Who was that?
I was relatively happy with him because at least he gave.
He was useless. He was useless. You know, but because it's Keith Strauss, everyone has a go at him. Yes, he's rubbish. But for the last 4 games, he's not been bad. Towards Forest, we won 4 games, 4 clean sheets. We've not been. But I don't.
Forest clean sheets aren't a reflection of his refereeing.
No, just because we're good doesn't excuse him, does it?
No.
And they've not won while he's refereed them either. They've lost 9 games now. They've lost 9 games now, and I don't know how many of them Stroud refereed.
Keith Stroud, I hope we get you in the last game of the season against Hull, because you are lucky over Keith. So if we do, Keith Stroud, if you're watching, someone tag Keith Stroud on Twitter or everyone. Mr. Don't want you as referee, because I love Keith Stroud. 5 games on the bounce. We can make it 6. Keith Stroud, FA making the referee for the game against Hull.
Are you real?
What? I'm just saying. I'm getting actually having. Des, jog on Des Dorstrap, whatever. I'm just looking at the comments, and
our luck will run out with him. That's the problem.
Oh my God, Ben Michaela, what? I'm just saying, why is everyone go at me? But he's not too bad. There's another one. Guy Wright, Stuart Apple was referee at Bomb. Ooh, okay. Wait, can I ask a question? Someone said Keith Jones is a Bournemouth fan.
Yeah, Bournemouth or something.
He's not a Bournemouth fan. He's not.
Well, no, apparently they're all non-league fans, all the referees. They all claim, don't they?
If Keith Jones was a Bournemouth fan,
it's honest.
He won't be refereing the game on the week. He won't be refereeing the Bournemouth and Blackburn game. Do you know that?
Well, they all claim they don't like anyone. Look. It's human nature. You're going to prefer one team to another, aren't you?
Listen to me. Keith Stroud.
If you love football, you're not.
I want you as a whole game, Keith Stroud. So it is what it is.
Hopefully, everyone loves Forest now.
You can have a go at.
Right. There's I'll ask you, Glenn. This one for you, Glenn. I don't know if everyone saw TalkSport. Simon Jordan and Don Goodman was arguing about Think Forest, and did anyone hear Sam Jordan say about TalkSport about Cooper not doing a good job at Forest? They don't get promoted. Has anyone heard that?
Cobblers. What a load of cobblers is that? Saying he's a serial failure because his teams get to the playoffs but don't win them. How moronic is that? Guardiola, Pep's a serial failure, isn't he, as well? Because he doesn't win enough things.
No, I think.
This is Crystal Palace. This is a guy, Crystal Palace. talking about it.
Right.
Let's just get this in context.
I heard
he should
it.
be an expert as well.
I heard it. I heard what he said, and I get what he means. What I understand, in like, if we're in the playoffs and we're like third place and we're happy. If we lost in the playoffs, wouldn't you be disappointed?
It's a lottery, though. It's a lottery. Look, this is the same guy who said our players let down Houghton. That's it. You give him a cross and you take no notice of him. It's just clickbait. It's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. Playoffs is a whole different ball game. You qualify. It's like going to the World Cup, and once you're in it, you start again. It doesn't give you hardly any advantage where you finished. Anything can happen. Like we say, one bad refereeing decision, one flash of brilliance, one injury, one red card, everything changes. It's absolute. It's just creating a story out of nothing. And like I say, serial failure. Crystal Palace. Look at that. What's he talking about?
I thought of it and looking at you just going out of Cooper, and I think Sam Jones has got issues. But I understood what he's saying. Like I said, if you're in the playoffs, if like I said, the momentum that we force are on, like we should be going for Premier League. If we fail, if we lose in the playoffs, then we should get top two now. We should get top two. I think that's what
I would have been happy. Yeah, but I would have been happy if we come seventh. If we'd still somehow come seventh a couple of games ago, if we'd come seventh, the way we would have come seventh this time compared to Sabri, I'll take it all day long. But we won't, because we won't do it like we will with Sabri. We are now aiming for second place. We've gone from being survival, mid-table, playoffs, second place. This is, it's progress, it's success. Don't talk about failure. Failure isn't in the vocabulary, is it? There's nothing about failure at Forest at the moment. And if we fall short slightly at any one point, whether it's getting second place, whether it was getting in the playoffs, or whether it's winning the playoffs, it's not failure. It's one small setback. The whole pattern is one of success. It's like Brennan missing a penalty. It's nothing. It means nothing. You carry on and you go on and you do it next time.
Right, people, put in the comments, who was your man of the match yesterday? I think quite a panel have said who the man of the match was. So people in the comments, put what is your man of the match. Let me go for you. I think you've said about your man of the match, haven't you? Glenn. Man of the match, Glenn.
I'm not surprised that Worrell got it. I think it's between Cook and Samba for me. And on weight of the chances that they had and the significant chances that Mitrovic had, I think Samba made, this might sound a bit backwards, but the two clear-cut chances that they had were significant. That incredible top right-hand corner, the fact he tipped it around. Samba was my man of the match yesterday. Okay. Discuss.
I think. So I think he was my man of the match. If I'm honest, I'll go next. I think Samba was my man of the match. Cook played well because he dealt with the striker god as well. So, like I said, I understand why Cooper brought Cook in to deal with him, and he dealt with him. Not just him, McKenna, Worrell, the whole back three. So for me, it was Samba. What about you, Des?
I might be a bit controversial with this because watching it back today, I was really trying to get into the man of the match, and I was thinking Zinkernagel had a great game. Despite what I said earlier, I wasn't criticising him. I was just trying to see what others see, and he was right up there for me. He was right up there. He worked his socks off. I think he was carrying a knock through much of it as well. Because he seemed to be limping about, and ultimately went off with an injury. Samba, again, I think we probably saw a bit more in the game than you do on the television. There was a couple of crosses that come in where he punched them, and they seemed to go into orbit before they came down. And it's a great save, but I just don't think there was quite enough in that for man of the match. The defence, what was really interesting when I watched it back was Fulham didn't have that much clear-cut stuff, so what I think for the last 10, 15 minutes, Cook was amazing. He was amazing over that period. But before that, there wasn't a great deal he had to do. Bizarrely, for all Fulham's playing as good as they are, the one person that really stood out when I watched it back was Brennan Johnson. He's our best player. He's our star player. He's the man. He's the release who you give the ball. But if you watch how he could have really, really changed that game several times, we're perhaps taking him a little bit for granted, like I touched on before. Because the guy was phenomenal. He got that ball when he was down that wing before you knew it. And the difference, that the relief that gave us, gave Cook, Worrell, just for a couple of minutes, in by being that outlet, because we didn't have much of an outlet in the second half. We was under the cosh. I think we're perhaps taking him a little bit for granted and forgetting how good he was. He was brilliant when I watched it back, and I didn't realise in the game. You remember one or two things, but the amount of times he got down that line, there was one in the first half where Zinkernagel won the ball. Spence won it, passed it to Zinkernagel, and then he sort of danced into the area and put a crossover for Surridge. It just went beyond him. There was the one in the second half, and then there was a couple of shots where he could have buried the chances on a different day. And I think we're perhaps forgetting about that a little bit. Of course, we had our backs to the wall, but not one again. Probably a little bit guilty of being a great team. Where everybody in that back line played brilliant. I thought Spence was a little bit quiet in terms of his attacking play, but he had a job to do. Garner, just as I said with Garner, played really well at what he did yesterday, which was obviously different to what we expect of him of normal. So you've just got to kind of, might use the term, and I use it quite a lot, horses for courses, but I think yesterday I'd go for Johnson, and it's not somebody many people have mentioned.
What about you, Matt?
Well, I somewhat agree. I think we take Brennan for granted and rely a lot on him. He did play particularly well in the first half, and he had to play out position. Surridge didn't have his best game, but he also provides that outlet, and he did well as well. And that's sort of nice. But also, I agree, it's a team thing now, and in a way, Brennan gets the Mitrovic treatment, doesn't he? And they'll foul him and Spence. I think those two get all the fouls, all the attention, all the doubling up, and it's more of a game of chess. So you kind of got to factor that in, and then not playing so well sometimes is purely because it allows other people to play. And I think in a way, that's where we suffer Jack not being a natural wing back, like someone like Larea would be. So again, you could give it to Brennan. I would have been not far away with that boat, and I think you could. But personally, I would also give it to Samba, because I think apart from anything else, apart from what he did, he was punching the ball better than Lee Wood could punch it, and he caught everything, didn't he? He was authoritative, he was confident, and he made a couple of fantastic saves. And I think purely on the fact he came out of rehab yesterday, I think, and it was like, you've learned your lesson, you got your prefect's badge back, and you can, whatever, you're back in class, and you're head boy potentially. So that's my opinion. I thought he played really well.
I don't like quiet Samba. No,
I know what you mean. No, but he's toned it down slightly, hasn't he? But yeah.
I'm going to look for the comments, and as well, the Dave Trapper says Samba or McKenna. Samuel says Samba. There's quite a lot. One Gary says Cook. And
Cook was brilliant. Yeah,
Cook was brilliant as well. He dealt with this.
That punch near the end, Matt, would have knocked out Dillian White.
I don't know why he did it. He almost did it out of spite. He did
it down here as well. It's like a body punch.
Yeah, he did it. It was an uppercut sort of thing. I think it's inspired.
As well, this is from SU2 fan. That U2 is he underrated as SIF as well.
He kind of didn't play yesterday. McKenna just took out Mitrovic, didn't he?
Mitrovic, he did. I don't know if you noticed, right? And especially in the second half, because he wasn't getting much as number 9, he was dropping deep to get the ball, and it still didn't work. Because McKenna had you in back pocket, so that didn't work. So more than McKenna for dealing with it right.
We're a really hard team to play against now, aren't we?
Exactly.
You know, when you've got the ball, what are we going to do? When we get the ball, what are we going to do? You know, whoever is playing against us, the best team in the league. They've been the best team in the league all season. You've got to give it to them. They've got the best striker. They didn't really know what to do, did they? We're hard to play against. They can't score against us and you can't stop us. And we really should have won the game by more goals.
I'm just saying. Got a super chat. I didn't see this one. Shout out to Kieran. My mum was Des Warnock for giving it to the thank you for £1.79, Kieran. Peace and love for that. That will go straight to Des's kit. So, the people get subscribed to the Do Daily. There's 170 people. If you haven't subscribed to Do Daily, subscribe to him, because if you know, Des had a target. If it gets to 500 by the whole away game, he's got to dress up as a full kit, everything, shin pads, Astros, and he's got to wear what can have on his back?
Background.
Do you know what? It's my birthday as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So we need to think of people in the comments.
Can I just say, when I agreed to this, because it took me what's been forever to get
it's another one.
To get to 315, it took me 2 years. I've been doing YouTube for 2 years today. And Dore said when he got there to do the same thing, it took about 4 hours to get 800. I'm like, I didn't know this when I agreed.
Yeah, it took me. Yeah, it took me. Yeah, I was on. I think I was on 906, and Craig, shout out to Craig. He said he put it on social media. Ben's got to wear a full kit, and it took me 2 hours to get the rest. So. Yeah, so people.
You've got to love Forest fans, haven't you? You know.
No, I hate Forest fans.
They get their priorities right, don't they?
I hate all you Forest fans for doing that.
I've just got to unsubscribe to all Matt's social media because I can't believe it took him so long to him and Michaela to.
I've been saving it. I get more than enough of you, Des.
All right, so people have to make sure if you subscribe to Des, subscribe to me as well. And right, there's a last subject we're going to talk about. Forest have got 3 games to go, and if we win all the games, you know what's going to happen. We are promoted to the Premier League, and I don't want to get my high hopes up about it because we've had 23 years of hurt. And I'm going to go to ask you, Glenn, and said these 3 games are so important. The Swansea game as well. Glenn, AFC, we're coming for you. But yeah, Glenn, these 3 games are so important, aren't they?
They are. I'm going to say it again. I'm cautiously optimistic, Des. I think that the running that they have compared to us is still in our favour. The fact that they've got to play Blackburn, who played really well on Monday night and won 4-1, wasn't it? They've got to go to Millwall, or Millwall have got to come to them. And they may or may not be in it at that point. I think they may be dropping out. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't finish 8th or 9th. But they're going to give it a good go because it'll be the last game. And then that critical game, no doubt, I don't know whether I'm on again between now and next Tuesday, but next Tuesday is going to be one hell of a game, particularly if the results this weekend go for us. We're in the driving seat. I'm not surprised that TalkSport comment was made because we're in the driving seat and it's ours now to lose. Perhaps 4 or 5 games ago when we were 6 points adrift and they've nicked a point at Fulham, they've nicked a point at Swansea, they've still kept themselves in it even though they've not been playing anywhere near as well as we have, and we're still we've still got momentum. The results this Saturday, and Swansea are going to come, and you know, for all they didn't play that well when we played them at their place, but they played really well last night. And for all we know, that might be our banana skin. I hope it's not. But
no, but look, I would say it's the opposite. It's not ours to lose; it's ours to win.
Yes,
it's there for us. You know what I mean? It's
like, theirs to lose. You're absolutely right, Matt. It's ours to win.
It's ours to take off them because we were in the dirt. We were the worst. We had the worst start for 185 years or whatever before anyone. When dinosaurs roamed the earth and so forth. And this will be the most incredible season if we can just finish it off with 3 victories. And it won't even take 3 victories necessarily, will it? Because like you say, if Bournemouth happen to beat Blackburn, then that'll actually help Millwall become more viable and maybe keep them alive. It's a good scenario for us. It's in our hands. It's how we like it, and we've got to grab it with both hands, and we're going to have the potential to make history. And we've had the Miracle Men for 40 odd years. We're going to have the Miracle Men at 22.
So if you're watching this, Johnny Owen, we need a Believing Miracle Part 2 because we want one, Johnny. Shout out to Johnny Owen as well. No more do dailies. Des, take that nonsense off, Des. Take that nonsense off, Des.
Get out.
Des, people subscribe. There's 178 people. Please go on to do right. People, 78 people, get off this. Don't watch the stream. Subscribe to Do Daily and come back, please. He is wearing the full kit at Hull away. Des, like I said, there's 3 games to go, Des, man, and like I said, it's been too long, and like I said, we've got Swansea, we've got Bournemouth, and we can't. Everyone we keep talking about Bournemouth, but this Swansea game, it is massive for us. But like I said, Bournemouth have got Blackburn won on Monday, and we can't forget we've got Swansea on Saturday, can we?
No, and it's the last game of the season, isn't it? What we want to. For me, it almost feels like we're extending it into a playoff all of a sudden, because that's what Bournemouth will become if results go our way, and even if they don't, if we win 3 games, I'm pretty sure we're going up. So we're just in a playoff scenario already. Every game's a playoff, and if it don't quite work out, perhaps it's good experience, isn't it? Just take something from it, take the positives, as I always try to do on Do Daily.
Subscribe now to Do Daily.
but Saturday, we've just got to look forward to it and enjoy it, haven't we? I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, and Cooper says the same. Just take each game as it comes. We're capable of going out there. I remember the Swansea away game. It felt like the start of it for me. It felt like where we started turning the screw and we'd become a really good side, built that confidence. And I think if we can sort of go and beat them, next game up, next man up, whatever way it is, it's extending the party, isn't it? I'm sure the players are focused. They seem to hit every new challenge, with the application and the mentality Matt spoke about right at the start. They're really sort of bang on. They're all level-headed. They're humble. I think Joe Orwell was talking about it. Cooper, he knows how to play it. He's not cliched, but he knows what to say. He knows how to play everything. And I think it's just the perfect storm right now. That's what it is. It's all coming together. And all we can do is just hope the storm just carries on for a few more weeks. And like I say, if we win those games, if we win our football matches, we're going up. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
We've just got to be ourselves, haven't we? We're very good, and we've got to be the best us. If we're the best us, we're going to win. We're one of the hottest teams in the country at the moment. We're on form. We've got momentum. Just focus on our job and do it, and everything else will follow. And that's what he's done. And let's look. We've had since we got rid of the old geezer. We've had a fantastic season.
Old,
but there have been problems. It hasn't been easy. There's been suspensions, injuries. We've overcome them all. And Cooper's got better and better. And he hasn't done a thing wrong, has he? And you just got to believe.
That's a perfect analogy, Matt, because the last time we weren't ourselves at home was Stoke. It was a bit rash. Everyone was doing something that shouldn't be. They weren't. It just seemed like the application weren't as good as it normally is. Of course, we dug deep and we got a result. But obviously, the big thing was Samba. And it all went wrong for the time being. So if we do what we do, if we're the best version of ourselves, we've got nothing to worry about in terms of Swansea.
And what else can you do? If you do your best, all those players have to just do their best. And look how well they've done, just doing their best. Look, the awards we got this week. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Give me another slice of humble pie for Ryan Yates. We'll all have one. He's become the best midfielder in the league. Who would have thought that? And he's thoroughly deserved it. And it's brilliant, and all of them, and you don't even get Brennan in the team. There's basically 4 of them in the team, isn't there? It's as many as anyone. It's amazing, isn't it? It really is amazing, and you just got to be positive, be ourselves, focus on ourselves, and be the best we can be. Everything else will follow. That's what's happened all season. Don't change it now. Don't change it now. And he won't. He won't. There's not. You know, none of us can see it coming, can we? Look, Sabri, yes, you could see it coming. You know, the whole time it was panic and pandemonium, weird things going on. Cooper is so focused, like a laser beam, and I'm confident, and it's exciting, isn't it? And we all believe it, and you'd be mad not to. So just keep believing.
Anybody that knows Championship football, I heard the commentator say when I was watching it back that Cooper doesn't play for a draw, so they know what we're about. You know, so obviously the commentator will watch a lot of Championship football. The likes of Simon Jordan being a twat on the radio, he doesn't see enough of Forest to understand exactly where we're at right now. So if we do that attacking football, apply ourselves well, you know, go out there with no fear like we do, but you know, remain humble, you know, to where we're at within the game, we've got no problems, have we? And I said there, we've got to win 3 games. So have Bournemouth. If Bournemouth win 3 games, you know, so it doesn't matter what they're doing. If they win their games, obviously that's sort of tangled up in the fact we're playing each other. But if we win ours, we're up. If they win theirs, they're up. We can only do what we do at the end of the day.
100%. Right, before we get to I want to say that, like I said, we've got 3 games to go. I'm putting in the comments, do you think Forest can get second place? Like I said, we've got Swansea, Bournemouth, and what for the last game. So people comments, do you think that we can do it? I'm going to get through the panel. I'm going to start with you, Glenn. Can we get a second spot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Glenn said it straight. Des?
100%.
Yes.
Not positive enough.
It is. I just can't believe we're this roller coaster of emotions. You know, yesterday I felt really, really emotional. I felt like I need a post-season. I've not kicked a ball and I feel absolutely knackered because we've gone from relegation, you know, to we'll be okay under Cooper. Cautiously optimistic, as Glenn keeps reminding me. And then I said we're getting the playoffs. Then I said we're getting second place. And then you go, oh well, that's perhaps over. And then we go again. You know, I should have just said it all along. We're getting second. We're going up.
What about you, Matt?
Well, it was insanity to suggest we're getting the playoffs, wasn't it? It was madness. Yeah. You know, we're in the playoffs. We've achieved something beyond what was sane to suggest. I said, what was it, 4 or 5 games ago, 50-50, I said, for the automatic, which was a bit optimistic maybe, but 50-50, I think it's 75% in our favour now. You've got to be realistic. It's football. Things can go wrong. Like I say, referees, injuries, suspensions. There's potential for banana skins, but I think we've got it very firmly in our hands right now. And I would say 75% we can get second place. And if we don't, it's not a problem. We'll be in the playoffs, and then we have another bite. And even if we don't do that, we'll have another season of this league, winning games. You know, we're on the right track, and that's what you've got to keep focused on, I think. But I think we're going to do it.
So everyone in the panel thinks we'll give it. And before we do go, and it was funny, right? And I said to Des, the first 6 podcasts that we've done for start of season, everyone was depressed. It was the same old. Matt was saying the same old. And I was just like...
He still is, isn't he?
I was just trying to get the sack for you.
It was funny, right? And the game against Hull, and I sent Des the link, the clip, and Des says, this is what Des said to me, we're going up. Can you remember that, Des? Huddersfield game. I said that if people go back to when we beat Huddersfield 2-0, Des said a clip, we're going up. I will put it in my end of season view vlog because I'm still today. I've been doing some bits today with it, so it's gonna be mad how it's from the start of the season to now. But it's
You're
not over yet.
You're going to date it all. You're going to have to make it. Really
I have dated it. I have.
That's right. That's going to be the story, though, isn't it? I was talking to Lee Wood last night, and I was saying it was like his fight. I think Forest are going to recreate his world title defence. A terrible start, knocked down in the first round. You're going to lose, creeping back, and we're going to smack them right through the ropes at the end. That's what I think. Poetry.
Listen, people, if you got time after, watch my vlog as well. But if you see, watch the first 6 podcasts on my channel, because I was looking back on it this morning and I was like this. I was depressed. I was like, that was me.
Do you know what it is now? It's like I'm a Celebrity. Do you know, they all start off and then they fall out of it and then everyone loves each other. That's how it's been on this year. You know, everyone's nice at the start. Then we start arguing because we're all angry at Forest. And now everybody just agrees with each other. It's boring.
Yeah.
Well, it was a support group when it started, wasn't it? We were all depressed. It was like, whereas now, well, I don't know what it is.
We've all given our thoughts. Dor, what are your thoughts?
On what?
Second on?
Yeah, exactly.
Or are you going to wait an hour before kickoff?
I'm going for it. I think I'll go for it. Like I've mentioned, it's been 23 years of madness, but the way Steve Cooper's has done this, like we can mention Billy Davis, he was good. We can mention Paul Hart, he was good. We can talk about Sabi Limucci. But going to away games, especially away games, and I was speaking to Gary on the way back, and Des, how many away games have we won under Cooper? When was the last time? Was it 9? Is it 9 away games we've won? 10.
We were figuring it out, and we were trying to pick our top three away days for
right. Right, before people in the comments, what has been your best 3 away games? And that's another thing. Glenn, best 3 away games you've been to? Is it Millwall?
Third is QPR, Colback.
Yeah.
Equaliser. Second was Millwall, and first was last night. This season.
What about you? Yeah. What about you, Des? Mr. No more. Dave, stop. You know what, Des? Go on. Stop. Des, can you change your title, please? I'm sick of it. If you like my title, Des, subscribe to Do Daily now. So,
I didn't this was a serious thing, but I'm going to get pretty serious.
Des, what's been your top 3 away
There's
games?
just so many. I said to you last night, one that really, really sticks in my head is Swansea away. That was incredible. For me, that was the start of it. So I think that'll probably be in there. Blackpool was just a mess. It was just
No. You were a mess, not Blackpool. You was a mess.
It's all part of it.
You was a mess, not Blackpool.
I don't think do you know what? Do you know what's the best thing about this? I said Bournemouth, which got cancelled, is one of my best away days of the season. It's come into an adventure. But you had Forest fans tweeting like, I wish I was in Bournemouth with all the lads. They look like they're having a bang night out. I'm like, it's not even a game. What's happening? But no,
make it an annual thing.
Swansea, Blackpool, and Millwall are the ones that really. But then Peterborough, you know.
Exactly. There's been so many. I've not even thought about my top 3 yet, but I will talk about my top 3. Matt, you go next, Matt. What's the top 3 away games?
Spoiled for choice, aren't you? I don't know. Peterborough was good. Do you want the ones where things changed, or do you want the ones where things were like, you know,
the whole package,
really great?
But
Peterborough was really. Personally, I really enjoyed Birmingham for my own. Obviously, Colback for his hat trick against QPR, rather. But Birmingham, I enjoyed, because that was when things turned around. And the one I really regret missing was Huddersfield, because that was really where that was the rebirth, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mark, there's one for you, Mark. This question.
I think we've said all of them, haven't we?
Mark, Christian Cole, do you want an exclusive interview?
It's history now. I'm over him now.
Right. So before we go, my top 3. There's so many. I can't remember. My number one is without doubt is Bristol City away.
Blackpool, I suppose, because all that drinking, wasn't it?
Bristol City away. No.
Okay.
Bristol City away was just the best. I've never that's mad. Swansea, Swansea's up there. That's definitely another one I looked. And the other one, there's so many good ones, isn't there?
They're all good, weren't they? Really.
Do you know what? I'm going to sound like Steve Brown on the last episode now, but it's just been an absolute pleasure. Do you know, I've got to know most of you guys, all of you this season. You know, through doing Do Daily, joking aside, and it's just a whole package for me. It's enjoying sort of meeting you, watching a fucking amazing football team, you know, and I tie in my running and my little adventures, you know, so it becomes a whole thing. Glenn's into his running and we meet up and things like that, and then it's just absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I feel like I'm living the time of my life. Honestly, it just feels like the time of my life. Of course, I'm getting married this year, so I have to say that as well. And she's in earshot, so it's just been amazing.
Yeah, she's getting jealous, I think.
Well, yeah,
jealous.
It's been a roller coaster, people, and it's good to see positive vibes as well, man. Like I said, the first six things we've been on the channel it was just depressing, but now look at us, everyone's just happy, jolly, and there's 3 games to go. And let's say that if we do get promoted, and when we get promoted, I'm gonna say when, not if, when, it's gonna be a party, and I'm gonna do whatever happens. It's gonna be a positive. It's been great. It's been great, and like I said, meeting like I said, Des, Glenn. I had to deal with Matt sometimes. I remember I had to spend. If people didn't know, I had to spend Matt. No, we just had to spend Des for 3 game ban. For the abuse they gave Lisa. Lisa still talks about that, Des. So,
but yeah, that on the end of season review.
That's in there. That's in there, Des. You're not going away with that.
But, I watch all these back, but I've never watched that one.
Oh boy, it's been a pleasure, people. Last but not least, I said the County Campbell event's happening, people, tomorrow. It's gonna be a fantastic event. It's gonna be a great event. I'll talk to Glenn in a minute after the stream. I'll talk to you, Glenn. But yeah, like I said, please come to the event. It's going to be fantastic as well, people. If you want tickets, the link is below. And it's like I said, it's going to be a fantastic event as well. And there's going to be loads of prizes as well. So, but like I said, I might do a vlog for it as well. So watch out for that as well. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for coming on. One last push for Do Daily. Get Do Daily to 500 subscribers, people. What you're now, Des? What you're now, Des? You're on
395.
People, get
80 of you are absolute.
There's 179 people. Please go on to do the after stream. Go on to Do Daily, subscribe, so you can go to Hull and be a full kit. It is right, people. And get going. The Swansea preview. I don't know when I'm going to do that because I'm so busy. I'm busy tomorrow, the Kevin Campbell event. Friday, I'm with Kevin. So I need to find out a day that I'm doing a Swansea preview. It might be late Friday night, late. Saturday, it's going to be a different kind of vlog. A different kind of vlog because I'm not in my stand. I'm in the post bits. So it's going to be a different kind of vlog. So,
you're gonna hate that, God. Yeah.
I know it's gonna be mad. So people,
cheap biscuits and stuff like that.
I said to the cantina, I'm bringing my own chicken. So but it is what it is. But like it's gonna be a different kind of vlog as well. Kevin Campbell's gonna be on it as well. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Right, people can get going. It's been a pleasure, Glenn. Thank you very much for coming on. As well, you know what? Before we do go, Matt does some stuff. Matt, promote your stuff.
Oh, don't make an editorial again. I just do a Kevin. Just do a what do you call it? Steve Cooper fist pump at the end. That would be the right way. There we go. Let's just do a Steve Cooper fist pump and be done with that.
Yeah.
But we did some Kevin Campbell stuff, didn't I, for you for tomorrow? So we're going to have some signed ones of those, which will benefit the charity if people buy them. So if anyone's a Kevin Campbell fan out there, there's only going to be about 20 of them or something like that. So it's a one-off.
Yeah, so people, if anyone wants a Steve Cooper picture or T-shirt, the link is below.
I've got something big coming at the end of the season as well. But you know, with these end of season things, you can't tempt fate. So I'm not saying anything.
Exactly. Who do it?
Little hands have been working for a long time, so there's going to be things that explode at the appropriate moment. Hopefully.
Yeah, we hope. We hope. And last but not least, let's say Des has got a channel as well. It was funny because before we go, I'm going to tell a story. We was in London, and Des is like, he's going to do his vlog. I turn around, where the hell's Des gone? He's gone so. It's like I've never seen a guy walk so fast. And like, London's a massive place. I'm thinking, I don't know where Des has gone. Ben, I'm here. I don't know where you are, Des. So he's done his vlog. It's already out. Go and watch it, and make sure you subscribe to it, because Des, you're an evil person. You left me in London by myself for
you know
20
what?
years.
Dore's small fish in London. You know, take him out his comfort zone in Nottingham, and he was lost.
I was lost.
I was showing him the sights. I was like, "This is Buckingham Palace." He didn't know where he was.
I was lost. I saw. It's weird. I was saying to Des, right, when I'm doing my vlogging in Nottingham, people were like, "What's he doing?" But when you're in London, I could just walk around the Thames Bridge. I'm like, yeah. People just walk past and they just don't care.
Do you know, we got all the way to Putney Bridge Station before someone said, "DoreOnTour."
Shout out to Mark for that. And he got his score prediction as well. So shout out to Mark for getting his score prediction as well for that game as well. Right, we get going. It's been a fantastic day. 153 people. Thank you everyone for watching that as well. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, to Ted's channel, and make sure you get some stuff from Matt as well. All the links are below. And as well, people, before you do, go and watch my vlog. It was a fantastic day. Me, Glenn, and Matt, me, Glenn, and Des, we went to the game. It was a mad, crazy night, but it was all worth it. And like I said, people, we are 3 games away. If Forest win these 3 games, we are back in the Premier League. But I don't get my high hopes up. We've got Swansea next, and if we do, it's going to be a massive, massive party. And Glenn can come to Nottingham and celebrate as well. Glenn, you must have.
Can't wait.
You might have to book your day off from school, Glenn. So
that's a big ask. That is.
DoreOnTour goes to another level.
Where's he gone? Then where you gone, Glenn? Where's he gone? He's gone. Yeah. He's out. Right, people. I hope everyone. I make sure. It's going to be a massive event tomorrow for Kevin Campbell. Right, I'll see you soon, people. Peace and love. You've
got to finish it every time now, then.
Right, peace and love. Up the Reds.